Hello, my friends, and welcome to the update that you've been waiting for since I returned back on the mic. And as you can tell, I have been posting most of my work previously before I left to go on my 2 week break. Now, the 2 week break that I really dealt with while in Connecticut, it was something I needed to do. And even though for the most part I stayed on radio silence and just kept little burst updates on how I've been, and of course the picture of the simple yet epically tasty Thanksgiving dinner we all had was shown on channel. Well, it was epically tasty. And the second day, and the day after, which was Black Friday, we went out, bought a ham and some fixings, and I cooked the ham. And oh my god, the ham was delicious. There will be sandwiches for days, along with the turkey. The Wonder Chef has done his job, and he has done it well. That's the reason why one of my favorite animes is Food Wars. Just because I like to cook, but it's not the fact that I like to cook, but I enjoy the fact that it has a lingering effect on some people right after I cook. Some might be longer, and some might be short, depending on taste. Thusly, whenever I say your taste may vary, I really do mean your taste may vary. And yeah, no Tenkai burgers this time around, but next time when I go on my vacation a little bit sooner than later in the year, there will be Tenkai burgers. I promise you that. When I got back, let me tell you, the flight on the way back, it felt kind of rushed. Even though when I left, it had started snowing. Because when I was getting on the bus to get to the airport, we had to wait until, say, maintenance was done, which took for an hour. And trust us, we were getting cold as all get out. And let's just say that the snow, it was hail. It was hail. It was cold. My fingers were getting numb, and for the most part, I had to I had to generate anger in order to keep myself warm. So I had to be angry enough just to generate enough heat into my right hand so I can actually generate some energy around me just to feel some heat. And from what I'm hearing in the background is what I came back to. Can't hear in the background because it's very soft, but it is raining over here. So guess what? I came back in time for the rain. From one jump to the next. Now, what was so funny about it was the flight had a bit of a layover from Connecticut to Philadelphia, then to Phoenix. Phoenix basically was from point A to point B instantly. And the only thing I really had to do was just eat something because I had jumped from one place to the next, trying to find Terminal A, which was over that way, and like I mentioned, going to Going to it was like getting on the metro, except that it's, instead of it going in a straight line, you went in a circle. So I had to ride. I didn't really have to ride it on the way back. More likely, I kept going. I went on the conveyor belts, and the first thing that popped in my head was the Middleman theme, the Middleman stage theme from Mega Man 2. So, as I was thinking that to myself, I was actually humming that as I was getting to my destination in the airport. So let's say it was exciting nonetheless because clearly we thought we were late, but apparently through Providence, through all the way through, I sat on the wing. I had wing seats all the way through. From from when I started going to Connecticut to coming back to Ontario. You see, I went to Tweed and in New Haven. It's called New Haven Regional. So Tweed was really the closest place that could take me to where I needed to be. So yeah, as I'm hearing the rain in the background, I'm hearing the little drips in the background. So let's just say what I just heard was just really, really, it was really, really interesting. So my stay there was really good for the first couple of days. I had to settle in with, time, had to adjust myself with time. And I can tell you, I was very tired, like I hang right now. And since this is my first week back officially, I have not really had the time to really get a full day's worth of rest in because, oh hey, as soon as I got back in, so that the little problems that really didn't matter. And the little problems I'm talking about are like the old man and his little hangups and whatnot. Like I said, little problems. Aside from that, all I'm seeing right now is just me having this house to myself and watching a Dunkin' Donuts commercial. I mean, I swear to God, you see a Dunkin' Donuts everywhere. Especially if you're going to the, especially if you're going to the east, you see Dunkin' Donuts everywhere. Now, the funny thing is, we would probably have a Dunkin' Donuts close by, but the thing is, we don't have Dunkin' Donuts close by. We have a Winchell's. In my area, the only donut place we have over here is Winchell's. We don't have a Dunkin'. We only have two places we can go for coffee and donuts, and that is 7-Eleven, which is right around the corner from me. And across the street from there, it's Winchell's, which is mainly coffee, donuts, and even a sandwich or so. But I would usually get my sandwiches from 7-Eleven because it's just closer. And all I want sometimes is just basically just something to eat, just to tie me down for just to tie me down for dinner or whatnot. I don't eat as much, but when I do, oh watch out, I can eat. I can pack it away. Just the only thing is with my new setup of my medicine in my system, it's hard to actually keep it down. It's not like I'm going to throw it up, but man, I gotta go. I gotta go. Well, I'll just leave it at that. Let's see. So, as I said before, and as I showed you through my pictures, I did not come back empty handed. You see, I recently, while I was there, got myself a few things from Best Buy. Since there was a Best Buy in the area, I said, well, you know what? Got some money to spend. If I'm gonna leave, let's just go outright crazy. So I bought the following for myself. I bought myself the entire the entire collection of Thundercats. That's each and every episode from the movies to the movie that was broken down into, like, say, 4 or 5 parts, I think. Everything is on it. Have not opened it yet. Well, I shouldn't say I haven't opened it yet. I have opened it, but I haven't watched it yet. So that's right up there with everything else that I haven't fully watched because I haven't had the time to really just sit down and really enjoy watching something just for the sake of watching it. Not just because I want to review it. It just is I haven't sat down and really watched it. So I got myself Thundercats. Let's see. What else did I get myself? Ah, yes. Went to an anime store, or rather not an anime store, but it's more like something reminiscent to say Suncoast. Because to me, I got a Suncoast vibe from it, and it's right by where I was staying. And mind you, I was staying in an apartment complex, but where it was is like not too far from it, just one bus down and a few steps away. There you go. We went to this place that was somewhat like Suncoast, like I said, and it had it was called Game Exchange. It wasn't just games. It was basically DVDs, resin kits, Gunpla. They even had classics. They had LPs, vinyl records. They had the oldest of the old school in there. I said, you know what? This place sold me. Just because it had not just games, not just videos, but it had just about everything. It was basically like a mom and pop store, only bigger, with a vibe of Suncoast. And if y'all remember what Suncoast was, y'all remember how high and expensive you found anything that was in Suncoast. Of course, I went and found myself like the most oldest of the old as far as anime goes. So I got myself Giant Robo, the anime. I also saw Hades Project Zeranar while I was in there, but I don't think it was like all of it. I think it was just volume one. But I think that was it though. I didn't see anything else of note aside from, you know, Gunplas and, you know, basically build your own Gundams and whatnot in there. aside from Dragon Ball and Marvel stuff, stuff you would usually see, I saw very little Funkos in there. I mean, I like Funkos sometimes, but I have a certain type of Funko because I don't get like every bit of the Funko there is. No, I get the ones that feel like they stand out. Like I have three. I have a Voltron, a Blackjack, and now added to my collection Deku from My Hero Academia. So, you know, I'm slowly building my little collection of things, my little collection of oddities and such. But aside from that, it was really, really nice. And for the most part, I got rid of that eye twitch that's been bugging me all this time. And the thing was, when I had that eye twitch the entire time while I was there, nonstop, for about maybe 5 hours, I kept talking about the things that really pissed me off, the things that angered me, the things that just basically just made me just, I really couldn't stand. It's like people I didn't like, certain people I didn't like, the types of people I didn't like, and I admit to saying that I almost hate everybody and everything. But it's the small things that make me not want to give up on people or the world in general. Because I've been disillusioned for many long years, it basically just made this big husk of anger fester inside me. So the entire time, I basically just said, you know what? For the next 5 hours, just let me talk, let me vent. And so that's what I did. I talked and vented for about 5 hours. And after that, that eye twitch that I always had, it just left me because I think, like I said, everything that basically was bugging me kind of left as soon as I was just in that zone to basically get it out of my system. Part of me wanted to say, you know what, I should record myself saying this, and part of me just said, you know what, no. If I need to get it out, I need to get it out. One of the things I just said that I just didn't like was I just don't like elitists. I don't like people who think they know everything. I really can't stand people who think they know everything. I couldn't stand people that just basically were they were their shit. I really can't stand people like that. I couldn't stand people that basically put others on pedestals and whatnot just because they were so great and they had this and had that. It's not because I was as it no, that's not being bitter. That's just saying I just don't like them. That's all it was. It's like I just don't really like elitists. I say elitist is almost just as bad as being an asshole. Probably worse because you're not an asshole. You're a goddamn brainy smurf. That's what you are. And I can just say that. It's the thing I don't like is people who think they're better than somebody just because of that. It's like Papa Smurf, Papa Smurf, Brainy Smurf. It's like to the most simplest of cores, I cannot stand Brainy Smurf. I said that's one of those people that basically just really, really, really irritate me. The people who say "I told you so, I told you so," I'm like, look, I'm not doing this for this. I'm only doing this because, okay, you want me into this, but I don't need to see this and this and And yes, for the last couple of hours since I've been back, I've been downloading Final Fantasy 14. Since for the last 2 weeks, I've pretty much been bombarded with watching Final Fantasy 14 footage. As if, watching Lalafels and listening in on some of the streams and everything. And I just basically told him, I said, look, I just want a game I can chill with. I don't have enough games that I can actually chill with. And I want my money's worth when I go into this. I don't want it to be a total waste because of that. I said, because one of the things that really kind of really and utterly just basically draw me away from getting into something is hype. I cannot stand game hype. And now we have Blue Pond Part 5 and coming on, and I think it's a new episode. I'm not entirely sure. I think it's the final episode. It looks like it. I'm watching it on mute, by the way. So I'll probably catch it on replay, or I might just see what episode it is as we are talking about this. We are on episode 24. Season 8. Believe it or not, yeah, Lupin's been around for 8 seasons. Lupin the Gentleman Thief. Anyway, like I said, I want to get into something that basically says, I'm not really into the hype, but I want to enjoy something just for the sake of enjoying it. Somehow, with MMOs, I never had a very good track record with MMOs because, well, we got the following factors in play. For some reason, when we all get into an MMO, we have clashing differences. Like there are some of us that actually want to beat the game as a group. And when we try to beat it as a group, we can't beat it as a group because time. I live on the West Coast. I'm the only person in the group that lives on the West Coast. Everybody else is on East Coast. So therefore, guess what? It might be 2 o'clock in my neck of the woods. 2 p.m. per se. And what am I doing? Getting in at least 2 good hours of downtime trying to get myself into the game. Whether it be, just going through the main story, and trying to, be in group chat or whatever, or maybe something else. I don't know. Thing for me is I don't want to get distracted by all the hype and everything. Like I said, for me, within my time, if I'm in a MMO, I want to be into the game as much as I can, and not get distracted by the hype and all that stuff. Even with the microtransactions, that too is like it seemed like it's such a waste sometimes because all I'm doing is well, I'm just doing the following, trying to play a game without getting too much of us, too spoiled into it, you know. So let me just play it at my own my own pace and everything. You know, if I join a group, I join a group. If not, I don't. But you know, like I said, that's probably one of the main reasons why we don't hardly get together as far as a group play is concerned. And that's with anything really. It's with Payday. It's with 100% Orange Juice. Um, um, that Capcom bundle can go straight fuck itself because it doesn't work on it's it has a tendency to not work with some PC users. So therefore, you know, if it doesn't work for me, it just doesn't work for me. Yet I can play it just fine on the PS4, but I can't play it on the PC, and I have Windows 10. That's the funny thing right there. So that just means one thing. I probably need a full blown gaming PC to do this because, like I said, this rig is pretty old, and all I'm doing is just keeping it alive just by constantly having it under maintenance. If not every month, every other month. But it's not bad, like I said. It really isn't that bad. It's just one of those times that I just feel like, well, what can I do? And it's the same thing now as it is. Like I said, I'm coming back into the fray of things, and with all that is, I'm still working on a few projects, or plan to work on a few projects as soon as I get my balance back of sleep and time, and you know, just get everything back into place. So I'm basically putting up all my old videos for quite some time. I also have on hand, like I think, 4 days worth of footage on Ghostbusters, the video game remastered. Even though I'm calling it Ghostbusters remastered, we can pretty much say Ghostbusters 3 at this point because it had the game really had the makings of a legit storyline for Ghostbusters 3. And there's rumor in the works that they are going to actually make a legit Ghostbusters 3 even without Harold Ramis. Like I said, with Shandor Island, that's where I am right now. I haven't even gone into it, but that's where I am right now. I just finished Shandor Island, and I'm going to the final level with all upgrades in tow. So everything else is just going to be basically coming in Monday with a fresh load of videos. with Ghostbusters, the video game, leading the helm, and then after that will be Digimon, and bringing up the rear would probably be either Otaku no Saiza or Tales of Vesperia, and possibly Yakuza. Aside from that, that's all I still have going as far as backlog is concerned. I will be working on more as time develops. And like I said, I've been working on tons of other projects for the new year. At least I have my end of the year Let's Play ready to go, just about. Like I said, all I have is the final area and, of course, the final boss to deal with. And therefore, that's it. And what I can also promise you is that this run is not going to be a complete artifact run, because trust me, 40 artifacts. Yes, I read up on it earlier. 40 artifacts. I doubt I'm going to get every freaking artifact that there is in the game. Even though it has trophies, I'm not really in it for the artifacts. I'm not really in for getting all the trophies, but just to make it out that game. Basically, I'm just doing it just because, hey, it's a Christmas game, regardless. And, you know, I ain't afraid of no ghosts. So that said, let's see what else I got in the. What else have I got ready for next year? I do have another game that I finished ahead of time, which is Hardcore Mecha. I finished that ahead of time, so therefore that will go up like around March. I'll pretty much start work on going back on what I started on and just get back to it. Like I said, as soon as I finish everything else, as soon as all the other videos are actually caught up, I'm just going to go ahead and just post them, and then after that, get a fresh batch of sessions going, and by then I should be good to go as far as scheduling is concerned. And hopefully nothing else crazy would be catching the ire of my recovery. So with that, yeah, it's 33. Hell, this is gonna be like at least 35 minutes at the very least. But yeah, my flight was alright. I made it back safely. Going to and coming back, I made it back safely. So now it's just me readjusting to time and getting in at least a good 8 hours of sleep without any calls or whatnot. And I really should turn off my phone as soon as I finish this video, because I swear I am not in it to hear no madness from my phone. I should do that to the house phone as well, because again, I don't want to hear any madness as far as that's concerned. But until the next time, whatever I plan on doing, you already have heard what I am doing in the background. Possibly I will have, let's see, I will have Galgun up for February, Hardcore Mecha for March, I got Ghostbusters for this month, among everything else that I'm working on. And on top of that, I will be working on Tokyo Beatdown when I'm done with Ghostbusters, or while Ghostbusters is being put through next week. And that rain is really coming down. So I've been your friendly neighborhood Tenkaichi, and I'm glad to be back on the mic. And I shall see you soon with even more great content. So once again, for those who have joined the channel, welcome and thank you for joining, as well as to the old favorites, thanks for sticking around. And I'll see you next time with even more greater content. And before I forget, I got something special for the Chest of Obscurity since we are hitting 100. Yes, Chest of Obscurity is hitting 100. So I got something that was sent to me not too long ago in my hacks. So guess what? That's going to be something in the 100 slot. Something that we should have gotten, but we never did because it was under a different name. That's all you need to know. So until the next time, whatever it is that I got planned, I've been your friendly neighborhood Tenkaichi, Ichigo Musco, and I shall see you next time when next we meet. So until then, take care, God bless, and Die Tensor!